Okay, joining us now is Jimmie Johnson, our five-time NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion, driver of the number 48 Lowe's Cobalt Tools Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports here this weekend at Texas. Jimmie is seventh in points. He's got a pair of wins at Texas. He swept 2010, I believe, here at Texas. And as Jimmie's done here the last few weeks, obviously with his Helmet of Hope initiative with the Jimmie Johnson Foundation, he's got some things to do here for charity. So, Jimmie, go ahead.
I do. We'll get started and draw the media cone first, but just want to thank Blue Bunny once again for supporting the Helmet of Hope. And if you haven't had a chance to log on, it's, what is it again? helmetofhope.org. I had an off weekend. I'm sorry, I forgot. All right, so first one is media and cone 8. Holly Kane, Fox Sports, and it's the Scott Lake Elementary PTO. She nominated this children's elementary school in Lakeland, Florida. The PTO is working hard to raise funds to install updated technology in their classrooms. So congrats, Holly. 10 for the fans. Jenny McFarlane, Fisher House. She's from Escondido, California, and she nominated, it's for wounded warriors and their families. When they come home, there's a lot of needs necessary, and these homes are free to the family members so they can support the warrior the way to the recovery. So congratulations to Jenny as well.
Okay, thank you, Jimmie, and just open it up now if you got some general comments about racing here at Texas. Certainly a place that you've had good success and feel good about getting that first victory this season.
Yeah, I mean, this track has changed so much over the years. The asphalt is losing grip more and more, and the bumps seem to get a little bit bigger. And I feel those are all great qualities and should really make it a handling race, and the team that wins will have earned it out here this weekend. So the schedule's a bit odd with when we're on track relative to when we race. So yesterday was a good opportunity to explore some new ideas, and then today we'll kind of settle in on our race setup and qualifying stuff and go to work. So I'm just looking forward to getting on the track. The wind, as I just came in, is howling, so I don't know how that is going to treat anybody that qualifies. I don't know when Nationwide went. Looks like they may have gone already, but I hope the wind dies down before we go to qualify. With the tailwind like that into turn 3, it could be quite exciting.
Questions for Jimmie now. If you raise your hand, we'll get you. We've got a couple wireless out in the audience. Questions for Jimmie? Jimmie Johnson? Bob right here. And then Rick.
Bob Hocker, Sporting News. NASCAR says they're adding a template for the C-post starting at Talladega. Do you feel like that's a good thing, that's going to take away any sort of questions about that area of the car, or do you feel like it's an area that that you need areas to work on in the car to be able to do things, to try to get advantages?
I wasn't aware of that, but happy to hear it. I mean, in some ways, I'm very happy. Start over. I'm very happy to hear that there will not be a gray area there, but it does take away opportunities to work on the race car, and but that's been a reality we've been faced with, especially crew chiefs have been faced with for quite some time now. But I'm absolutely happy to hear that there's going to be one there.
Let's go right over here, Jimmie, to Rick. Go ahead.
Jimmie, Rick Goslin, Dallas Sporting News. Is there much talk among the drivers and/or crews about getting Rick Hendrick number 200? And how important is it to you as a driver to give him 200?
Oh yeah, we're thinking about it all the time, and Rick reminds us all the time that it'd be nice to get that out of the way. We've been all around it and have had a lot of shots at it this year, and unfortunately, we haven't been able to pull it off. And we had 1 through 3 locked up there at the end of Martinsville, and felt like that was the day for it to happen. In what fine fashion? I mean, Rick won his first race there. 200 there would be a great way to bookend all of that, and that would have been a real special weekend, but it just didn't work out.
Is it special for you, the guy that wins 200?
You're insinuating that I'm going to be that guy, and it will be awfully special. I hope to be that guy.
Thought I saw another hand. Yes, sir, right here, front row.
Kyle Ballard, Race Week Online. The practice speeds at Michigan are very, very fast. Do you feel like the cars are starting to go too fast again?
No, these cars are good and safe, and I wasn't there, so it's tough for me to really say. And I haven't had a chance to catch up with Jeff, but I expected faster. Top speed of 215 isn't out of the norm. I mean, we see that California maybe a few years back, and at least around that, 212, 213. So I don't think that's a big deal. I would have to imagine there is a ton of speed still left there, and anticipating the speeds, Goodyear, I'm sure, brought a very hard tire, and I expected us to be 225 or something down the straightaways.
Let's go over here to the far right, Jimmy.
Woody came with MRN. Jimmy, along those same lines, this will be next week the last time at Kansas on the old side before they repave that. Your thoughts on changing that track and just in general on repaves? Are you in favor, not in favor, kind of in the middle?
I understand why, and especially when tracks are kind of sliding down and they're afraid that it can come up during a race and cause a problem. I understand that the need is there. I feel that we've learned a lot with progressive banking, and we can really help racetracks and spend some time creating a middle groove and an outside lane. And I can also say we've learned that there's certain asphalt combinations now that are being put down that sure they're going to last a long time, but they don't work very well. And I think the one at Charlotte's finally coming around. I think the one at Phoenix is going to take a long time before it comes around, and I would advise, if anybody was listening, to not choose that blend. Let's get to something that wears out. I'm sure it means repaves more often, but it's going to provide a lot better racing.
Right over here, Jimmy, against the wall to the right.
Rich Phillips from the Ticket in Dallas. This is the first time, obviously in a long time, you've not been in a season defending a championship. Has it changed your outlook, changed your approach? Does it feel different to you at all this season?
Not once I'm in the car and get to work. I mean, I thought that I would only make the mistake at Daytona walking to the wrong transporter. And I walked in here this weekend, and my little route that I've walked for the last 5 years, I walked right on by my transporter and walked up and looked at the 14 truck, and I did it again. So, those moments continue to get me, and I guess it'll happen all year long. And I'm trying to use it as motivation to be back on top.
Marty Smith, right over here.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Do a lot of practicing during the day. Obviously, you will race at night. How closely will you pay attention to the nationwide show to get any kind of gauge on what the cars may do?
Yeah, we'll definitely pay attention to it. What's tough for us is we went on the track yesterday, it was green, and ran our laps, formed opinions, and then kind of in a cooler setting at the end of the day. So you build some stock into the temperature, but then we practice again today, and then there's a nationwide race. The grip level of the track's going to change so much. The track is more like the race during the middle of the day today, but the temps are way off. So we're going to try to blend last night's ideas and thoughts of what the temp is going to do to the balance of the car and with today's track conditions and take it from there. So long story short, we're pretty confused, and we'll build some adjustability into the setup. And the first couple of pit stops, I think you'll see big changes from a lot of teams.
Other questions for Jimmy? Anybody?
Cool.
Jimmy, thanks for coming in. Thanks for the Helmet of Hope initiative, and good luck at Texas, okay?
Thanks, bud.